Hey there, here's a quick note before we begin. You can support the podcast by downloading, sharing, or checking with my favorite hiking gear at justhyke.com. Let's hit the trail. Welcome everybody to the Just Hyke Podcast. I am so excited to have Valena Spradley here today. Thank you for being on today. I'm just going to do a quick bio for you, and then we're going to, just get into our conversation and discussion about photography. Okay. So Valena's love for photography began in high school when her parents gifted her with their first camera from Sears, sparking a lifelong passion behind the lens. With a professional background rooted in graphic design, marketing, and public relations, Valena spent over 25 years as a marketing director. Since 1995, Valena has run a successful photography side business, eventually transitioning into full-time photography in 2018 to pursue her creative passions while caring for her aging parents. In recent years, she's focused her lens on landscapes drawn to the beauty and emotion of the natural world. Most recently, she began teaching others how to capture stunning photos using the power of their cell phones, making photography more accessible, creative, and fun for all. I carry my cell phone with me all the time, just like everybody else does. And one of my favorite things to do is going on a photo nature walk. I find that the most meditative for me. I lead different hiking groups. I work with the Lone Star Hiking Trail Club, and I'll lead regular groups for them. Occasionally I'll lead my own group hikes for some friends and things like that. But, I really do like to hike alone, and I like to take my camera with me, and I love just watching the flowers. Right. And watching the butterflies and maybe some bumblebees and things like that, and the landscapes, of course, is one of my favorite things also, but really getting into that micro world is one of my favorites. I find it very meditative.
So do you look up and look down? Do you take pictures of the tops of the trees and the bottom of the reflection of the water?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
That's one of those things that people just don't think about doing. Take that camera and just do this, and take that camera and look down, and that just opens a whole new world to you as well.
That's such a great tip. I love that. So tell me a little bit more about yourself and how you got into nature photography specifically.
Well, kind of like you talked about, just being able to be outside and walk. I've always loved outside.
Oh.
Those are my times that I love the most. And now with this in your hand, you can capture it and you can look back and go, oh, I remember when we were on vacation and we saw that. I love sunrise and sunsets, and I'm more of a sunrise person because I just love the pinks and the purples and all the colors. And one of the things I tell people is, if you're on vacation or even in your own neighborhood and you think tonight's going to be a pretty sunset or it's going to be a sunrise I want to watch, set your alarm on your phone 30 minutes before it says it's time for sunset. That gives you time to settle in, and you get to see all these magic changes. Everybody captures that, oh, this sun is rising right now. This is the thing I want. You want all the color, everything that it takes to get to that perfect sunrise or that sunset. So that's something that I've been known to yell at my family to get their butts in the car now. We are losing lights. And my friends know too. Sometimes we go to the beach and they sleep in. I know which girls are going to get up early to watch the sunrise and which ones are going to sleep late. But it's just, like you said, it's meditative. It's peaceful art, and it slows down all the stress. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love that. Was there a moment or a place that first sparked your love for capturing the outdoors? Do you think it would be the sunrise, or is there somewhere else?
You asked me that, and I was trying to think, and I can't think of the exact moment. It just has always, and as I've gotten older and I've had more time, that's a lot of it.
Absolutely.
It's having the time to actually slow down and stop and not be rushed. It used to be we'd go on vacation. It would take me a couple of days to settle into being calm. I had to put all the work and all the life over here. And now I find that it's much easier just to settle in and go, oh, okay, we're just going to sit here. And if it's raining today, don't worry about it. That's the thing sometimes people struggle with. If the picture's not going to make it, it's a bad picture, that's okay. Throw it away. Don't show people your bad stuff. Don't show me that boring picture. Just go, oh, Yeah, maybe if I did this, I could have been better next time. Throw them away and get rid of the space on your phones as well. That's another great tip. Throw the bad photos away. You don't need 10,000 photos.
Do you know of, I know this is a little bit off topic, but do you know of any good like photo cleaning up apps
You know,
that
that's one
will
thing.
help get rid of like blurry photos or like triplicates but sometimes the triplicates you want one of them.
It's such a challenge. It
Yeah.
really is a challenge. And in one of the classes I taught, I had a man who's very technical and he wants to look at every picture just to see if he can pull it into Photoshop and do something fancy with it. I want to get rid of them. And in my mind, the way I work, I can self sort it pretty quick and go, I want this one. You have to develop your own style. If you're one
Yeah.
that thinks you will spend the time pulling it into Photoshop or Snapseed's a good editor that's
Oh,
free.
okay.
You
Snap, how do you spell
Snap,
that?
SNAP,
SNAP
and then Seed, SEED.
SEED.
Snapseed.
Okay.
And one of the things that you had asked about editing, most of mine, I am very unfiltered. I'm very realistic with my photos. I hate to look and this pink neon sky, and that's really not the color, or this green flower that's not really that color. So I edit very.
Lightly. Yeah.
So let's just say here is a picture I took last night. I went to a sound bowl class with my friends, and on my iPhone now, every phone is different. So whatever phone you have, figure it out. But I'm sure you have settings, and we have an auto on our iPhone. I always hit auto. It makes it
Okay.
a little bit sharper. It adjusts to where if it's too dark or too light. And then the ones I love is you go through all these. There's a bunch here. It's a lot. It's complicated. Just ignore it. Play with it. I go to sharpness, and
That's one of
sharpness
my favorites too. Sharpness. Yep.
I sharpen, and then I love vignette. And vignette just makes it a little warm around the edges, and it makes your center pop.
If you're enjoying this episode of Just Hyke, here's how you can help support the show. First, be sure to follow, download, and share this episode. It helps more adventurers like you and me discover the podcast and helps keep this journey going strong. And if you're gearing up for your next hike or just curious about my favorite outdoor gear, be sure to check out my Amazon affiliate page. I've listed all the items I actually use, from hiking shoes to trail snacks. You'll find them at justhyke.com. Every purchase through the link helps support the podcast at no extra cost to you. Thanks again for being here with me on the trail. Let's go back to our show.
And so I'll just take the vignette and then do that.
Oh yeah, I can see it now. Yeah.
And then the vignette, it just makes it, it brings your center, it brings you to the center of the photo to focus. And that's pretty much all I do.
Nice. Keep it simple. Yeah, keep it
So
simple.
if you look at my photography page, Anchor V Photography, that's the things that you see there. That's all I do. I appreciate Photoshop, but I appreciate all those things. Now, sometimes I might remove a telephone wire or something like that, but I want it to be pure. I want it to be, when I look back, I want the memory to be what it was in real life.
Right. Absolutely. Now, do you have like kind of a way where you like to set up photos? Like, the rule of thirds I've heard, or sometimes when you're cropping, you see those 9 boxes.
Mhm.
Like, what do you suggest or recommend that people do, or what do you like to do?
Crop tight.
Crop tight. So what
Tight.
does that mean?
What is tight means is like right here, you're looking at all of me. If you do this, then you just see me. So
Okay.
when you're there, get closer to your subject. That saves you some time after. A lot of people, I see them standing way back here, and here's the flower, and I'm like, step up. And then you take it, and you don't have to crop. It saves you time. So if you're on the trail and you see a beautiful leaf, lean into it. Now, if you've got kind of crazy knees like me, it might be hard to lay down and get back up. Lean a little bit. But cropping, anybody can crop. You've got a crop tool on your phone. It just takes all of this away and says, this is what I want. And with
Right.
the iPhone, which I'm sure is probably the rest of the phones as well, you can revert to original. So you can't really mess it up. If I crop off your face, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna revert to original, and then you can play with it again. Speaking of cropping, this was a photo I took at a local farmer's market. I love the
Oh, that's so pretty. I love
yeah,
that.
so see, it's tight. And this
Yeah.
is canvas on the cheap, which is a place where I get them. And I think this cost me $10. They
Oh,
run a
that's so
lot of
good.
good sales. A lot of
Nice. Now, how big can you go with your iPhone photos without losing quality? Because I know there's sometimes size restrictions.
Right. The photo back here was taken with my big fancy camera, but let me hold it up and show you the
Okay, yeah.
cell phone photos, and they look perfect.
Oh, good.
And the
Good.
thing about a canvas too is a canvas is more forgiving than a regular photo because it's the canvas material, so it makes it look a little muted. So that helps with distortion of a cell phone if there is any distortion.
Gotcha.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
So you said there's two things that you mentioned. One is your photography website. So remind me, spell it out for me. So it's
Anchor, ANCHORV, photography.com.
okay. And this on there you have a lot of your photos for
And
sale.
I do. There's a link that you can purchase. You can click there, and my website is a store. So you can order a canvas, you can order a small picture, you can order different things. Or if there's a size you want, just reach out to me, send me a message, and I can get something ordered and sent to you. But
Okay.
I've recently started doing short little fun videos, and I'm getting my friends pulled in. It's fun because they're teaching me and I'm teaching them, and it's little helpful tips. So I encourage everybody, if you've got a tip that you know, please tell me because I would love to share it with other people. And I'm
I
working
love
on my YouTube channel, so that's the next thing to get done.
That's awesome. I did see one of your tips the other day. It was I think it was the cleanup tool.
Yes, is that
I
crazy?
saw that one. That was really neat. But I didn't have the option on my phone. My husband had the option on his phone.
Okay,
And so it's just interesting. I did exactly what you said. I think,
good.
can you tell people how to do
Yeah.
that or how to get to that?
So I have the fancy iPhone because it's a business write-off. The iPhone 15 Pro and 16 moving forward, you have this option to delete things.
You mean delete things as in delete things on your image?
On my image. So here's a little photo that I took. If I edit it, clean up. Okay, let's see. Let me turn this
Yeah.
off so y'all can see.
What would happen? So you see that white sticker in the front of the
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Can you get rid of that white sticker? And it's gone.
Isn't that
Voila.
awesome?
That's so cool. That's like, and you can do that so easily. Like if you have a landscape photo but you have a power pole line,
Yes.
or let's say there's a person in the background and you don't want that person in the background, you could just erase them.
So something that I've learned too, though, is each time you remove an element, hit done. Because if I accidentally take out too much, I have to start over from scratch.
Right.
So it's kind of like saving your work. So hit done, and so now it's here, and now I can continue to move things. But if it took off that half the flower, I couldn't just like Command Z it to make it go away. I'd have to revert to the original. But if you
Right.
hit
And then you'd
done,
have to start all over. Okay. No,
and that
that's a good tip.
that's a tool that a friend of mine discovered, and this phone is newer, and I didn't even know it could do that. So,
Right.
there's always these fun things.
There's so many things to learn. I love it.
Overwhelming.
Now I have a quick question. So in regards to setting up that photo, so that one that you were just showing us of the plant pot right in the middle. So now would you like offset that off to the side if you wanted to do it more of a kind of a landscape or?
I set them off to the side if I want to be creative.
Okay.
So that right there, I just took a real quick picture because, like I said, I was in a store and I'm like, that might look cute in our new house. I wasn't really trying to be creative with it. It was just I wanted
Sure.
to get that picture. But normally, well, here's one. My house, I have moss outside. Speaking of
Okay.
nature,
Oh
and I
yeah,
love
I can see
moss
that.
out there. But see how my feet are at the bottom and you see the moss at the top.
Yes.
I framed it that way because my feet are cute and funny that it's my toes, but I want to remember how fun it was to walk on that moss in the morning,
On the
go outside
moss.
and just ground myself and feel that. Because in Denton, I don't think that moss will grow. I don't think there's enough water. We get a
Probably
lot of
not.
rain.
Probably not.
But that is a great example of just offsetting it and making it look. And I probably should crop to about right here.
Oh yeah. Yep, I can see that. Do you believe that cell phone photography is powerful for nature photography?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I believe most is the fact that it puts it in everybody's hands. My 8-year-old grandson loves to take his iPad out and
Oh
take,
yeah.
And so we did he came in, he lives in Dallas. He came in to do Nana Camp last year. I invited 2 little friends from the neighborhood and we went to Ratcliffe Lake. I said, the oldest boy, he had a real camera. He was a teenager, was getting into, big fancy camera. Little brother had a cell phone and my Thomas had his iPad.
Oh,
And we
perfect.
spent an hour in the woods. We had a picnic. I had them take pictures of each other, take pictures of the things. And it was so fun to watch their little eyes just go, oh, oh. And what do you like about that? No, I like that. Okay, let's crop to here.
As an avid adventurer and fitness enthusiast, it's important to me to stay strong and active. I want to share with you one of my business interests, and it's called IDLife. I started following and using IDLife over a year ago, and it's been a total game changer for my energy, recovery, and longevity. Some of my favorite tools are the DNA test, which helped me fine-tune my fitness and nutrition protocols, and I also love BioAge. BioAge supports cellular health and supports NAD levels for deeper vitality. I especially love the IDX combo, and that's BioAge supplement paired with the IDLife energy mix. Together, they give me the daily boost my body needs so I can keep chasing adventure on the trail and on life. My goal is to hike and explore well into my 70s, 80s, and 90s. To take the free health assessment, just visit idlife.michaelchuk.com to get customized recommendations based on your body, your goals, and your lifestyle. That's idlife.michaelchuk.com to feel better, hike stronger, and age powerfully.
So yes, I mean, you can be 80 or you can be 8, and you have the ability to capture nature in ways that before was limited to just people with the big fancy cameras.
Right. And we both started with big fancy cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah. I started with film so many years ago and developing film. I was even a reporter photographer for a few years, and we would develop black and white and we would create newspapers and oh gosh, yeah, and now, cell phones and digital, it's just changed everything so much and just made it so much simpler and more accessible for people.
It's put it in the hands of everybody.
Yes.
You don't have to be really smart at math and know your f-stops and your apertures and all of that. You can if you want, but you don't have to. Anybody can be a nature photographer.
Yes. Yeah. Can you show us, speaking of nature photography, can you show us the photo that you recently won a photography
I was
contest?
chosen to be, it's the first time I'd ever entered a large contest. I've entered our art guild and have won some ribbons in our little local. But there's a group called Texas Through Her Lens. And I encourage you to follow them on Instagram.
What is it called again?
Texas Through Her Lens. So all the photographers
RLENSE.
Yeah, all the photographers are female. So
Okay.
you take a picture and you hashtag that, and they had a contest because they were having an exhibit in Georgetown. And I thought, well, what the heck? I'll enter, and I was chosen. There was 15 women from all over Texas, and so the picture I had was this,
And I love that photo so much.
And talking about, see how I cropped it, because the clouds were the focus, and the
Right.
water it's just there to let you know. And this was the Bayside of Crystal Beach in January. You get better clouds in the fall, in the winter. The cloud formations are different. But I took this with my cell phone. I was selected. I was very honored. Shocked, and nobody could believe that was with my cell phone.
I love how it's composed because you're not focusing half on the beach and half on the clouds. You really kind of panned up and took in the clouds, and then it's just that small strip on the bottom which has that S in it that just leads you through the picture. It's beautiful.
The tide was out, so it worked for me. So
yeah, there you go. Very nice. What common mistakes do you think beginners make when they're trying to capture nature?
They don't get close enough. They take a picture from way back here and then it doesn't look good, or they take and they zoom out. And that's one of the little videos I did recently. We were at the lake and there was a canoe over here, and I wanted to show the difference between, my camera has a 0.5, a 1x, a 2x, and a 5. And so
Yes.
I took the different pictures standing in the same spot so you could see. But the problem is when I use that 0.5, it's so wide, it gets bitmappy, it gets pixelated. So if you're going to
Okay.
blow it up, it's hard. Now, you might see an eagle, and there's no way you can get close to that eagle. We had an owl across our creek recently, my big fancy camera. So I ran out there with my cell phone. Now, that's a picture that's kind of cool. I was able to get him. He's bitmappy, but I got the picture for me because I'm like, I want to remember the fact that that owl was in my backyard in the middle of summer
Right.
than usual.
Right.
But if you can get closer, the biggest problem is either they're too far apart or they zoom in at the flower across the street thinking they want it, and then they're like, oh, it doesn't look good. It's because the camera just can't go that far with this lens.
Cell phone photography has its limitations.
Yes, it does.
Understanding what those limitations are and working in
Yeah.
those limitations.
Light is very important. The harsh mid-afternoon light is hard. Now, if you're taking pictures of plants, it's one thing, but if you're trying to do people, people will squint. Cloudy
Right.
days are your best friend. If you are trying to do outside people photography, a cloudy day is wonderful because it's muted, and then people's faces, their eyes look regular. They don't all do this.
They're not all squinty or trying to hide from the sun or anything like that.
And along those lines, if you've got somebody who regularly blinks in pictures or closes their eyes, and it
Okay.
tends to be blonde-headed people.
Really?
Very interesting, yes. Just tell them to close their eyes, and you count to 3 and have them open their eyes, and then you push the button.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, and
Smart.
that just
Would that help? Would that help if you have like groups? Like if you
yes.
have a big group and you have them all do something like that?
And you'll find that consistently the same people's eyes will be closed in photos. I'm sure if you look back at a family member, you're like, you know, Susie always closes her eyes, and it's just one of these things. But if you do that 1, 2, 3, and then you open them and smile, and just click, 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 take a bunch of pictures.
Right. Lots of pictures. Yes, especially of groups, right? Because people blink and, everybody's blinking at different times. Whenever I do a group picture, I'll usually, I'll snap like 10 right off the bat.
And something too that I want everybody to know is, so when you get your camera out and you hit photo, I am going to, let's see, here's the box over here. When you see what you want to take a picture of, put your finger on it, and you see that little yellow box?
Yes.
That's the focus. It's the focus lock. That keeps it from getting blurry. So lock your photo, and then when you take your picture, that's where the main focus is going to stay locked. And so that's very helpful, especially with people or things that are moving.
Speaking of focus, what do you recommend for that people do to try to keep that camera lens steady?
Put your body like this. Stand.
Like tuck in your elbows, right?
Find something to lean against. That last video, I was at the lake. I do it so instinctually now. If there's a pole to lean on, I'm going to lean. And
that helps hold you steady. And then you have both your hands on your cell phone. Your elbows are tucked in. Yeah. And so you're bracing yourself.
Yes.
And that'll just help that focus be that much better.
Use a tree, use a car, use your friend. Stand still. Because when I was taking pictures of that owl the other day, and I didn't even realize that I was moving more because and this is another tip that's kind of fun. I videoed the owl and then I screenshot the photo from the video.
Yes.
So if you've never done that, that right there is a really cool trick, because then you can have both. You've got your video and then you've got your picture. And you don't have to worry about switching back and forth. I'm going to take her picture. I'm going to video her. What am I going to do? Just video and then screenshot the video.
Right. Yeah. And it really depends on what is your end purpose for your photo. Right? If you're going for a photo that you really want to use for a landscape photography contest, let's say,
Yes.
you're going to make sure that you're very braced, you got yourself set up. But if you're going for a walk and you randomly see an owl, then that's more for your own personal enjoyment, right? But if you're specifically going to photograph owls, then that's completely different again. Where you want to be set up, you want to be braced, you want to be in a good spot. Maybe you want a little bit different camera.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you nailed on the head. It's what you want.
Right.
It's not what I want.
Yeah.
Melody, it's what art speaks to you.
Yes. What
do you want it to say to you? What memory do you want? And these canvases make such great gifts. I mean, these are just such a neat. This was taken with my phone in a pumpkin patch. Anybody can do this. Look, you just go play on That's how it's supposed to be.
And were they those colors?
Oh, yeah.
That's the colors that the pumpkins were.
This is not edited. This is straight from my camera.
Yeah. It's such a pretty photo. And that would look great, on somebody's wall.
Most of my house is artwork like this.
Me
now,
too. Me too.
because I love it, and it's fun to have. And again, those memories. To me, photography is a memory keeper. It's a memory catcher and a memory keeper. We had the opportunity last year to go to Santa Fe, and it was an amazing, amazing trip in the mountains. And I had my big fancy camera, and I used this during the day when we were walking around. But a storm brewed at the bottom, a sandstorm, and then a rainstorm was coming. And each time that you have pretty clouds, and you have, if there's a fire, like if they're burning down at Crystal Beach, those clouds will go up there. You'll get a beautiful sunset, the way the light hits the clouds. And I ran up and took this picture. I've already packed it. I already show y'all. It's just these gorgeous. It almost looks like a wolf in the sky. It is an incredible photo. I didn't realize how cool it was until I saw it on my computer, and I entered it into a contest. And I didn't get a ribbon or anything. I was kind of shocked because it was just such a pretty, stunning photo. And the judge said, "Well, I really like what you did with the colors here." And I said, "I didn't do anything with the colors."
Right. They probably thought it was edited or something. Yeah.
And that's an interesting challenge in today's world with photography, what's real and what's not.
Oh, absolutely. There is so much guy created things. Yes.
If you like that, that's fine. Digital art, there's a place now in the art guild for digital enhanced art, which I think is great because people spend a lot of time, they learn those Photoshops and those after shoot and all these things. Okay, I don't think I wanted that. I want it purple. I want it this. That's digital art. It's not original art. It's digital. And there's a place for that.
Absolutely.
So it's what do you like and what do you want to capture and to share with people?
Right. That's so beautiful. All right. Let's play a fun, fast game. Okay. All right. So what's your favorite plant or flower to photograph?
I love hydrangeas.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They are a beautiful flower.
And sunflowers. Sunflowers are probably at the top. Sunflowers.
Nice.
Really fun.
What about favorite time of day to shoot?
Sunrise.
Sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a go-to trail snack?
I like almonds and some granola.
Nice.
Crunchy.
Salty, crunchy. Yeah, me too. What is your most unexpected animal photo bomb? Have you ever had like an interesting animal encounter? I actually had one the other day. I'll share with you after.
Go first of all, I'm thinking.
Okay. So my husband and I were recently on a road trip, and I think we were in New Mexico. We were on part of Route 66, and we came around this one corner, and we were looking for a spot to just kind of have a quick little lunch break, right? And so we just pulled off on the side of the road. There were some really nice cliffs on the side, and so it's like, this is a perfect little spot. So we pulled over, and we're having our lunch. We're exploring the little kind of caves a little bit because it was the sand or the wind had, wind blown the caves out a bit. And, my husband noticed, oh, look, there's like little mouse turds or whatever, there. And so we're looking around and it's like, oh, wow. So, some little critters are probably living in the holes in the wall or whatever. And so we go back to the truck and we're finishing up our sandwiches and things. And I looked up at the top of the cliff and I thought, what is that? And it looked at first, it looked like it was like a bobcat or a mountain lion. And it's like it was that big. Its ears were perked up. And it's like, is that a critter or is that like a plant? Right. So I took a picture of it and it was just steadfast. Like it did not move at all. And it's like, okay. And so we both took pictures of it and we zoomed it in and it's like, holy cow, that's an animal. Right. And so we later figured out, we think it was a gray fox because it was from so far away, it was kind of really pixelated and stuff. And we were able to zoom in and we got some of the features. I'll have to send it to you. We got some of the features. And like I said, I thought it was a mountain lion staring us down.
That'll make your heart go.
Right. But now that we've looked at it and shared it around with a few people, it looks like it was a gray fox. So,
like,
but still,
what are you doing in my house? What are you doing in my neighborhood?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. He was wondering, what are we doing?
Yeah. We were in Colorado Springs for a work trip when I worked at the bank and had gone up to Estes Park And there was the young girl that was with me. She had never been in the mountains, and she said, I want to see one of those big ears.
Oh, yeah.
And we're looking and we're looking, and a snowstorm is coming in. And the guy said, by the time we get up there, he said, ladies, we're about to close the park. You can just drive just this short little area for free. And we said, thank you. So we drive, and she's just grapping. And we could pull to the stop sign, and I glanced. I said, Jacqueline, look out your window. And right here is the elk. And he's just looking at us. Like, and it was so, and back then, and we didn't have the cell phone cameras, but I had a regular camera with me. And I said, okay, very cool. And I got a picture of him, and he's just looking at us, just as perfect. And here we've looked everywhere for him or for one of them. And he was just there waiting.
He was waiting for you to show up at the stop sign. That's nice.
and like you said, be aware and always look for the critters. Look for, what's going to be out there that's going to be magical that you can capture. Yeah.
What is one word that describes how nature makes you feel?
Peaceful. Peaceful. It's just one word, peaceful. It's the stillness. It's just and it's the fact that it is always there. It's consistent. The world may be crazy. Politics may be crazy. Your parents may be sick. You may have a teenage daughter that's nuts because she's a teenage daughter. Nature is going to be there. And that sunrise will always reward you. And the rain will bring the flowers. And there's beauty in every part of it. I love a rainy day with a book. With a tin roof. To me, that's perfect. I don't want to be in the middle of big cities. I want to be in the quiet outskirts where it's just me and nature.
It's so beautiful and perfect. And I think with that, we will end our podcast for today. Thank you so much for being on our show.
Thanks for hiking along with me today on the Just Hyke podcast, where we explore the trails, tackle mindset shifts, and take steps towards the life you want, one adventure at a time. If today's episode inspired you, be sure to follow, rate, and review the show. It really helps others find our growing trail-loving community. And if you want more, please subscribe to the newsletter at justhike.com so you can stay in the loop. You'll be the first to know about upcoming Sidewalk to Summit training plan, my book release, new gear, and more. And of course, follow us on social at Just Hyke to get your daily dose of trail tips, hiking inspiration, and movement motivation. Until next time, get outside, stay strong, and just hike. See you on the trail.